Today I have an exciting tutorial for you, and it's titled Creating a Stunning Layered Bubble Dress with a Bolero Bodice. My name is Ajalam. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, you're welcome. Consider subscribing and don't forget to turn on the bell icon so that you'll be the first to know anytime I post new videos. So if you're interested in this topic, let's get started. Here are the things I'll be using to create this beautiful outfit. As you can see, I have two different colors of my net here, and it's 6 yards. Okay, and then I have my satin and of course my cotton lining. So I'm going to start with the skirt part, and I will try and make this to be a very simple, and then you can follow through easily whether you're a beginner or not. So I have 1 yard of my satin, so I am going to fold. I'll be using the half circle method to fold. So you can see that my satin is already in 2 folds. I just carry the 2 edges and then join it together, as you can see, and then you're going to fold it over again, and I have 4 here, so I will take it down this way. After cutting, I'm going to be having 2 pieces of this circle. In case, I'm going to repeat this so you understand what I am doing. So this is 1 yard of my satin. I just folded into 2. Okay, instead of cutting it separately, I just want to cut it together. Then you're going to bring the edge, this part that is closed, and fold again, so you can have 4 folds, as if you want to cut a full circle. And then I'm going to take this part that is also closed. You can see this is the closed part, while this side is open, and then I'm going to bend it over just to create a triangle form here, you can see. So I'm going to start by dividing the waist measurement by 3.14, which is the formula for a half circle. So the waist measurement I'm working with is 20. So 20 divided by 3.14 will give me 6.3, but I'll just mark 6 here. So go ahead and place my tape and then mark 6 all the way around. So this dress is going to be for a year-old. Okay, so just keep on marking, and then I'll connect. Now after connecting, you can easily place your tape over to make sure that you have the waist measurement. Okay, so there I'll just place my tape on this line and mark out the length of the skirt. So for this, I'll be making the length of the skirt 12. So I have 12 inches here, so I'll just go ahead and mark. So all you need to do for this tutorial is to work with your own measurement and then follow the process. So after marking, I'll just cut this out and cut it into 2, so that I'll have 2 pieces of my half circle. Alright, so as we proceed, you understand better why I am cutting out 2 pieces of this. Here it is after cutting. So this is what I have. I am going to remove this, and then I'll open it up like this. You can see. Then I'm going to cut this part open so I can have my half circle. For my half circle, so I'll just open it up here. So I have 2 of it ready. So I'm going to keep one aside. So we're going to take this one at a time. So this is the first one. I'm going to open it up now. Then at this point, you can decide how many layers you want the dress to have. So for this, I'll be making it 3 layers. If you want 4, 5, 6, it's up to you. But all you need to do is to make sure that you have enough net for it. So I'll be making this 3 layers. I'm going to divide whatever I have here into 3. If you want 4, just divide whatever you have by 4. So I have 12 divided by 3. That is 4 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and mark 4 inches all the way down to this other end. So I'll just start from here, then I'll just mark my 4 inches here, which is going to give me the 3 layers that I want. Okay, you can see it. So this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So I'll go ahead and complete the marking, and I'll also repeat this same marking on the other half circle. Remember that we have 2 half circle for this part. So I'll just quickly do this part. I don't want to take too much time. I'll just quickly do this off camera and then come back so we can continue. Here you can see that I have my 3 lines marked out, and I did the same on the second flare here. So I'm going to keep this aside. The next thing I'm going to do is to cut out this, so at the end of the day I will have 3 panels. But before that, I need to know how many inches I'll be cutting out on my net. So before we continue, I would like to remind us that our online classes are on. We have the beginner class, the intermediate, the advanced, the cupcake dress class, the pageant dress class. So if you're interested in any of these classes, just send me a WhatsApp message on my WhatsApp link that will be dropping in the description box. So like I was saying, to know how many inch of net to use for the ruffles on the first layer, this is the first layer now. So all you need to do is to place your tape. You can see what I am doing here. So here I have my 4 inches. Remember, that is what you're working with, 4 inches for the first layer. So you decide how big or long you want the net to be. So what I normally do is to add my ½ inch for the joining allowance. You know, after cutting this part, we're going to join it back again, so you need your ½ inch for joining allowance on this part. You also need another ½ inch for this other side as well, because we're going to be attaching the ruffles on both ends. So you need your ½ inch again, making it 1 inch. So what I normally do, I'll just add extra 1 inch to that. That is going to be 2 inches plus the 4 that I have already, making it 6 inches. So for my net now, the height of my net is going to be 6 inches for each of my panels. So after knowing this, I'll go ahead and slash all these open. After cutting it, you're going to need enough net, because we're going to gather the net and then stitch them on both ends. So if you want it, if you don't want to have a very fluffy dress, you're going to reduce your net, but the more net you use, the more fluffy the dress will turn out. So I'll quickly cut this part. For the cutting, I'll be cutting only this one. This part is going to remain as it is. So we're just working with this side. So I'll quickly cut this so we can continue. After cutting the panels, this is what I have. So this is the first one that will sit exactly on the waist. This is the second, and this is the last one. So for this second and the last one, I'll be using this color of my net for it, while the one close to the waist, I'll be using this other net for it. So I'm going to cut out now. Remember that I'm using 6 inches for the height of my net, and then like I said earlier, you're going to be needing enough net so that after gathering it, it's going to give you what you want at the end of the day. So here I have 5 yards. I just folded it for easy cutting. I have 5 yards here, so I'll go ahead and mark out the 6 inches in 2 places, because I'll be using it for the second and the last layer. So I'll just go ahead and mark them out. So after marking it out, I'm going to use my ruffle. I'm going to ruffle it. So I'm going to gather it, or any one, I'll just gather it and then join it on both ends of the panels. Okay, I'll also show us how to do that so we can move on to the bodice part, which is the most important part of this tutorial. So I have the 2 that I'll be using for the second and the last layer. So I'll just quickly cut this out, gather it. Like I said, you're going to gather both ends, this other side and this other side, because we're going to be joining them on both. Okay, it's not just one sided. So you're going to gather the you're going to gather the 2 ends and then pull it together so that it will match whatever you have, the length that you have here. You're going to pull it together before joining it on these panels. So let me just quickly cut so we can finish up. So here you can see that my skirt part is ready, my layered bubble skirt is ready. So for this skirt, there's so many ways of making a layered bubble skirt, but for me this is one of the easiest. Even as a beginner you can easily do this. So we're going to move on to the bodice part, which is the bolero part. So here I have my bodice pattern. This is the front and this is the back side. So before altering this, you need to cut this out on your satin or whatever you want to use for the bodice part. You need to cut it out before altering it. So here you can see I have this one out already. Okay, so we are altering only the front pattern. Alright, here you can see I just decided to trace out my pattern on another one because I don't want to waste the first one. So we're going to alter this now to create the bolero part of this dress. Now you can see that I have my neck width and neck depth. Remember that the first one, the neck width I used was 2 inches, so I had to reduce it to 1.75, which is here. Okay, you know this is a jacket, so it should be a little tight or close to the neck area. And then for the neck depth, I am maintaining my 1.5 inch neck depth. So I'm going to connect the new neckline now. Alright, and this is what I have. After connecting that, I'll extend it again to the shoulder line. Alright, so now at this point we're going to decide how we want the jacket to be. This part you can easily play around it. So I'll come over to this neckline. I'll just come down by 1 inch. This is where I want to curve the jacket part from this neckline. If you want, you can also curve it from this shoulder point here, but I am coming down by 1 inch because we're going to be adding collar to this dress. But if you don't want to add collar, all you need to do is just to come to this shoulder point and then curve it from there. But if you want to add collar, you need to come down a bit so that the collar will come to the front side as well. So I'm going to use this now just to curve it a bit. You can see I am using the curvy part of my ruler just to curve it down to this chest line. You can see what I am doing. Okay, just take it down to this chest line. When you get to the chest line, you can then use your free hand and just trace and connect it to that point. Like I said, this part you can just play around it and see what you have at the end of the day. So I'll just quickly cut this on my fabric and then cut. Now for the first one that I said you should cut, that is the first bodice. This is how it should look like after sewing. Okay, you're going to join it, the back side, everything the same way we sew the bodice. Just do like that and then give it a good press. Then the jacket now is coming on top of this. So I'll just give this a good press and then cut this out. Use the same back. Remember I said that the back is going to be the same. All you need to do is to cut off the zipper part because your jacket will not have any opening at the back. Just cut off your zipper allowance and then use the same pattern to cut out the back side of the jacket. So I'll quickly cut this out and then sew so we can finish up this dress. After joining the shoulders, this is what I have. One is going to be for the lining. I am using the same satin for that, but you can use your cotton lining so that at the end of the day your dress will not have too much weight. So now I'm going to cut out the pattern for the collar. All I'm going to do is to take a plain paper and then I'm going to straighten up this neckline on it. You can see the way I just straighten it out. You can see, make sure that you straighten it out. There's no space here. Then I'm going to use my needle just to get the point where I'll be cutting out the collar from. This is the easiest way to do this. Now I have the point. I'm going to use this to make it bold so you can see it very well. So this is what I have. It's a little curved because of the back neckline. So now after curving this, you're going to decide what to use as the height of your collar. So you can decide to make it 1 inch. In this case, I'll be making my 1¼ inch plus this includes the sewing allowance. Okay, I'm going to do the same on this part. This is 1¼ then I'll straighten it up like this and then follow the curve to mark out the rest of my 1¼ inch. Okay, so this is what I have. I'll follow the curve now and keep on marking my 1¼ inch, 1¼ all the way around, and then I will connect as it is. I'm going to connect it that way. Now we have our collar ready. You can see that this is very easy. You don't need to stress yourself. So I'll just go ahead and cut out. This is going to be 2 pieces because one is going to be the lining as well. So I'll just cut this out and then use my 1/4 inch that I added for my sewing allowance and then join it together before closing it up. After joining it together, I will just put it here before taking this other one. Now I'm going to take the other one after placing your collar and then put it like this and then join everything together. By the time you turn it over, your collar will be at the right side. So let me just cut this out so we can round up this dress. This is where we are after sewing my jacket. You can see that I'm almost done with that. Like I said, you're going to sew that inside. You can see after sewing, you're going to notch it before you now turn it over and give it a good press. So now I'm going to close this back side. I'm going to turn it over this way and close it up because this is going to sit on this body. So I'll just close this up and then turn it over before joining the sides together. Okay, so I'll just do that before closing this side. For the sleeve, I'll be attaching a very small sleeve because I don't want to leave it like this since this one is sleeveless. So I'll be just putting a little sleeve for this one. So now for this other one, I'll just join the sides together and then add the skirt part. Okay, so I'll just close the sides together and then I'm going to add this to it while this is going to sit on this one. So let me just quickly join this together and show you the final look of this dress. So this is what the jacket looks like at the back side. You can see how well the collar fitted on that neckline. So I'm going to turn the front and you can see that I've not added my sleeve, so I'll just turn the front side so you can see what I have here. Although this mannequin is for a 2-year-old, but I'm just using it to show you how the dress turned out to be. So this is the front side. You can see how simple it is, and I didn't add rope. For me, there's no need for that for this age. So this is the dress. This is what I have at the end of the day. All right, you can see that you can also use this to create your own idea. So that is it for today. Please subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you all in my next one.